Recently, it became very clear to me. Actually, it was in either this moment or it was in this moment here when I realised that Olise is different and he's on the path to becoming the best in the world in his position, in my opinion. Sometimes there are players that just get you going, and Olise, we did a video on him before the transfer window talking about how exciting he was, and now we're seeing it in front of our eyes blossom. He's one part of what is one of the most dangerous attacks in Europe right now and is showing no signs of slowing down. So how is Olise already transforming into a world-class player? That's what we're going to have a look at. Can you tell I'm excited? So currently, nobody seems to have an answer for Vincent Kompany's extremely attacking tactics at Bayern Munich. The 4-2-3-1 used by Kompany not only gets players into their preferred positions, but also it's got so much balance from an attacking and domination perspective. They're averaging 69.5% possession per game and an insane 4 goals per game in the Bundesliga right now. And at this rate, they'll score a total of 136 goals in the Bundesliga this season, which would smash the current record held by Bayern in the 2019-20 season. And do you know what, actually? Scrap it, because we shouldn't have even shown you the team lineups on a full pitch, because this is what it looks like on most match days. Bayern are camping in the opposition half. And there are quite a few interesting roles in the team, such as Alphonso Davies, who gets instructed to move to this half space. You've got Musiala being asked to move into the right half space, whilst also being tasked with moving into central areas to get on the end of pullbacks. Kimmich has played as a defensive midfielder, but has also played as an inverted fullback at times. You've got Kane staying incredibly central and currently has 10 goals and 4 assists from only 5 starts. But as you know by the title of the video, there has been one player who has been simply extraordinary this season and shown levels to his game that I think some people didn't think that he had. Although, of course, as is often the case, Crystal Palace fans knew a little bit better than the rest of us. And Reading fans as well. Ding, I see you. But if you thought Olise was good in the Premier League, wait until you see some of his recent moments and performances. Oh, I love this. I love that this is my job. Love it. Some of the... So Kompany's plan for Olise is to have him starting in extremely wide areas when deployed as a right winger. But Kompany has got himself a plan B as well for Olise, which he's tested out already this season, which could see Olise become world-class in 2 separate positions simultaneously. But let's start off with plan A. So this is Olise's heat map from Bayern Munich's 9-2 victory over Dynamo Zagreb in the Champions League, a match where Olise really shined. Firstly, you can see in the red area that he spends so much time out wide, and this is where Kompany wants Olise to be receiving the ball. There are 2 reasons for this. The 2 different reasons being the 2 different ways that he can take the ball, be it down the line or inside. So here's why it's important. As you can see, this is him getting on the ball in a really wide area. And if we pause it right there, what's really, really lovely about Olise and really important is a couple of things. First of all, he's really, really positive in what he wants to do. He's going towards goal. But as we spoke about, those 2 different directions that he can take, that's something that the defender will know. But the other thing that's absolutely crucial, if we move on just a second more, what you'll see is brilliant as he engages the defender is that although the ball is super, super touch tight to him, what he does fantastically is this. He stays very neutral in terms of his body shape. And most attackers will go head down or chest down at a bit of an angle, and that will, without even saying it, that gives a bit of a body language clue to the defender, knowing that they're going to look to get a sprint on. But by staying really neutral, it makes it incredibly difficult for the defender to know if he is going to go in this direction or if he's going to go inside. And he can do both. And of course, being a left-footed player on the right-hand side, that makes it more of a viable option that he might go down that line because of his body position, but you can never be totally sure. And it makes it incredibly, incredibly difficult for that defender to cope with him. And what he does here is he then is able to come in and make that move. You've got the defender's body position being completely the other way, and it creates that distance now. And as it creates that distance, it then allows for space for other players. And with the great understanding here as well that the team is kind of in sync, is that he's created that spacing there, but he's also got this line in behind. You've also got 2 players who are kind of concerned with him as well, so you're taking players out of the game. You've got this fella here who's just pointing at people. no, he's your runner, mate. You want to pass him on, but it's a little bit too late. And I think the initial concern here is that you think you've got a player going down the line, but that run from Muller and that subtlety of movement makes it very easy for Olise to, one, get that touch, but the tight control that he has as well allows him to play a superb pass into Muller. This is the thing I'm really excited about Olise, and I think why he stands out is that there's a sort of juxtaposition with a lot of his characteristics, but his style at the same time. Being so upright, it means that he can kind of drop the shoulder really smoothly and therefore still gain that extra yard, taking him away from a defender. It is really, really effortless. And again, it kind of looks nonchalant, but at the same time, the ball is so tight to him as a player as well. Add to that the vision that he has. It really is so effortless. And bear in mind, this was Olise's debut. He'd only been on the pitch for 9 minutes at this point. This was a bit of a warning for the rest of the Bundesliga and the Champions League's defences. Watching football leagues from around the world couldn't be easier if you get yourself a Surfshark VPN. That's just one of the reasons why. So what is a VPN? It's a virtual private network. It keeps your online data safe by encrypting all of the data between the device and the internet. This is absolutely crucial when it comes to safety, when you want to keep those pesky cybercriminals at bay when you're utilising public Wi-Fi. And also with the Surfshark VPN, you can change your location to any location around the world. Over 3,200 servers in over 100 countries. So this means that you can tuck into some Bundesliga or any league around the world by changing your location. You can also access the Netflix libraries of Japan, USA, Australia. Also, if you're on holiday and you often can't watch your favourite sporting event, with Surfshark, you can change your IP address back to the UK and watch the exact kind of programming you want to when it comes to sport. Masking your IP address is essential in becoming private online. A VPN ensures your city, country and download history isn't linked to your identity. And Surfshark's clean web feature blocks ads, phishing attempts, tracking and malware, allowing you to surf the web safely. And the final thing that sets Surfshark apart and provides even more value is that you can use your Surfshark's VPN on unlimited devices. That's right, iPad, computer, phone, whatever you can think of. So if you currently don't have a VPN, it just makes sense to have one to watch what you want, wherever you want to, safely. So take a look at the link in the description and use my promo code Allcott to get yourself up to 4 months for free. Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk at all. So why not give Surfshark a go? Good God, I've got so many ludicrous moments for you that he's produced already this season. But before we get into that, I think we have to touch on Kompany's plan B for Olise, because it could end up being brilliant. Palace fans, one for you guys. How do you feel about this? Because Kompany has only done this once, but I actually quite like it. It's a 4-1-4-1 on paper, but within the context of the game, it looked a little bit more like this. So in the plan B that Kompany has, Olise doesn't move to the right at all. In fact, he stays in this area here. It's similar to what Pep does with KDB and Bernardo Silva, and it means that Olise is in a hybrid 10/8 role, right? It could be something and a role that he looks to kind of stay with because of his ability to go left and right. But it would be in a new sort of area of the pitch. So something that he needs kind of the reps with to maybe get to that world-class level. I need to be honest with you guys. At the start of this season, one thing I did say was that we need to be careful in the content that we make by not going overboard. And I know I'm kind of ruining that by going so big on Olise here. But the game against Werder Bremen, I think it could be the match that we look back at and think this is the moment where he arrived. Because he scores 2 goals and he provides 2 assists. But the manner in which he scores the goals and creates the assists honestly blew me away, and is why we've gone to the depths that we have to kind of do a video on him, because it's just important. Like, he's so fun. And I call it now, in a crucial game in the Champions League this season, he's going to do something so both clutch and nonchalant that it is going to make you shudder. Let's talk about the goal first and then the first assist, okay? Because the goal, on closer inspection, is so different to what you actually think has happened. So, Harry Kane has the ball here. They are dispossessed high up the pitch, Werder Bremen, and Olise is in a more of a central role instead of staying out wide because the ball was over on this side of the pitch. Comes and gets involved. He's in a central area and he's ready to get the ball from Harry Kane once they are dispossessed. All simple stuff. And actually, the finish feels pretty simple as well. He literally just passes it in. But what you can't see is another angle of it, because another angle of it made me go, oh my word. Now, you might just about be able to see it here. If we play it on here, again, there's the moment of Kane getting the ball. He wants the ball quickly. And if we can pause it at the right moment, you might just about see it. Oof. But on closer inspection, the finish is just delightful. If we go as slow as we can, literally frame by frame here, he has a little look there. He sees the ball's coming, and he is predominantly left-footed. So maybe it's not by design, but by necessity here. But in terms of a finish, I think a lot of players would look to go across the goalkeeper here, maybe, or maybe even go round the goalkeeper to do it that way. But the way his mind thinks, if we pause it there. Now, let me try and zoom in, see if you can see it. It's very hard for you guys to see. But he's using his left foot, but the outside of his left foot. I had to go and find a screenshot because I thought this was just so phenomenal. And this is probably as good an example as you can see of it. From most people, when the ball comes, you're going to look to use your your instep of your foot to pass the ball into the goal. But the fact that he's willing to trick the goalkeeper and stand up the goalkeeper, his understanding of people's body weight and weight distribution is phenomenal. So he's gliding past players, but it also works for him in finishes. And I'm going to show you another example from this game. But the fact that he doesn't use that side of the foot, it makes you wonder, is he going to, go for this corner, which means that the goalkeeper's weight distribution goes that little bit to the left. And it looks a little bit ugly. But by using the outside of his left foot there, let me zoom in on it there. You can see it there. That is real genius, man. It's just chilled. He's so chilled. So that's the first moment of many moments that just set him apart for me. And that is just the beginning. This assist is absolutely wild. And when you really break it down, it just blows your mind a little bit. Because Olise, he obviously can see everything that's going on in front of him. But again, if we think about that neutral body position that he has, and it's phenomenal here, it makes it very difficult for the defender. So already the defender is a little bit flat-footed because he thinks he's okay. So then the little touch after that is really, really interesting because as you play it on, he just does this little roll. And what that does is it means that the defender thinks that he may be going this way, but it's such a slight touch that the ball's still tight to Olise's feet. But it also means that the defender kind of instinctually has to kind of make a decision on what he's going to do. So that little roll there kind of takes him away from him. And what it allows him to know now is that that defender's chest is facing this way. So if Olise moves this way, he knows he's got him, especially with the ball being so tight to that left foot and sort of in line with the right foot to a point. So you can kind of get even more control as you move it along. But it doesn't stop there because there's so many things in his mind all the time. And he's always taking in information from everyone else. He also knows that one of his attackers has moved this way. That's going to take another defender that way along with him. And so he then makes this move inside because he feels like he's got his defender beaten by cutting inside, which he is phenomenal at, right? But when he does that, he has to take a second little touch. The defender whose body position was wrong has to commit. And because of those little touches of Olise and that calmness of his dribbling, he's able to get away from him. But what he now knows, again, instinctually, I would say, instinctively, that's what I've been looking for. He's got another player to deal with here. But he also knows that this player's gone this way. So interestingly, he doesn't stop there. So as he carries on, I think a lot of people would think of a shot here. You would expect to see a shot into this far corner. We've seen that so many times. But Olise is just feeling his surroundings. Now, is this form or is this just him being world class? I'm leaning towards world class because as we move it on, he then takes out another player. But then again, he has to think about what he's doing here. Again, the ball is completely in line with him to allow him places to go. So one player is committed, a second player is committed. You now have another defender who's ready to commit here. So he kind of wants to go this way. But he also knows from the previous moment that that defender was going this way and is now working his way back. So there is some space there for him, but can you get the ball to him? Because all these players now, 1, 2, 3, 4, in this zone here, who he's sort of sucked in, they need to stop him, and they need to stop him pretty quickly. And so if we again play it on, and this is a joke, by the way. Watch very, very closely. I'm going to zoom in to make sure we can see it. The way that he evades this defender here is absolutely phenomenal because he can see that he is stretching. Again, body weight, body weight, body weight. That's what he's thinking about all the time, but without thinking about it, right? He knows he's stretching that way, so he knows there's space on the other side of him. So as we play it on, you see just the littlest flick up. That is wild. The ball is right here. You can't really see it because of that. You can't double zoom. But the ball is in line with the shorts there because he's dinking it over that player. All of this is happening in real time? Sorry. And then, of course, can we get some end product? He's essentially given himself a little chip pass into that space, taking all those players out. And, of course, now utter panic from the Werder Bremen team. You've got another defender looking to make his way across, and he's still able to get that cross, providing an absolute tap-in. That is phenomenal. So with the desire to be fair, let's talk about another goal where he actually gets a second assist, which, answer me this. Are you happy with this or not? Because if we move this along, what we'll see is Musiala has the ball and Olise is here. Olise makes a driving run into this area here, taking some players out. The ball is played to Harry Kane and then played to Olise. But the problem here, for me, is his decision. Now, Olise makes a decision here that I think Vincent Kompany, if they don't score the goal, I think he absolutely erupts. Is there an over-reliance from Olise? And could this be a weakness with him, that is an over-reliance of him to not use his right foot as much as he probably could do, should do? Because he is so good with that left foot. Because in this moment here, the ball makes its way to him and you put that in. You know, you pass that in. Now, this, I think many people would clip it up, put it out and go, wow, this guy's a joke. And the fact that he sends about 2 players here for a bratwurst is stunning. But when you're 6 yards out, that is a little bit dangerous for me. Now, the way it plays out is that the ball is then a simple pass and Harry Kane puts it into the bottom corner. And so I'm okay with it because it worked out. But there's a line, isn't there, about kind of going as far as you need to be that brilliant player, and you don't want to take that away from him. But in key moments, there could be a moment of composure that will make him look clutch, but there might be another moment of going just a touch too far that could cost your team. That is the fine line of elite sport. What I will say is that the weight of the pass to Harry Kane is perfect. Olise's pass appreciation is second to none, and he always presents his teammates with the best possible pass that's weighted correctly, and importantly, it's a pass to their strong foot all the time as well, it seems. Olise already has 5 goals to his name in only 4 starts this season, and the understanding that he already has with his teammates, I think, is a huge part of this. So as the ball makes its way over, you've got Harry Kane with the ball right here, and you've got Olise here, which, as connoisseurs of the JLA channel will know, is in a really nice position because, hang on a minute, he's in zone 14. Now, zone 14 is where a lot of goals occur, and another reason why Olise will continue to get the plaudits, I think, because in being in these areas. Now, why is he able to be in these areas? Because of that chemistry with the team, but also, sorry, my glass nearly went, I was so excited, because of the use of Alphonso Davies in that inverted position, and you're about to see him right about now. And the really interesting thing here, I think, from Vincent Kompany, in putting Alphonso in a more central position, is the fact by having him in this half space, it kind of narrows up, I guess, the option of the back 4, which creates space out wide. But in particular, it being Alphonso Davies, the horrible thing with him getting the ball in that space, if he's then able to kind of burst out on the outside, that will be a concern for the fullback at all times. So it allows you to then create these lovely overloads. You've got Serge Gnabry here as well. Obviously, would play out on that side as well. And so you've now got a bit of an overload here, but so much pace in terms of 2 players who can get into this area here. Also, Alphonso Davies can do what he wants. And so it just makes it really, really difficult for the opposition. But as we play it on, what you can see is Olise's role within all this and him being able to get into these lovely central areas, of which he does. And as we move it on, what we see is his comfort in these areas of the pitch and why that plan B from Vincent Kompany could be really, really important. Because as he gets the ball here, first of all, it's that first touch, kills it dead, keeps it tight, and then it's about the added little bit of sauce that only... not only, but very few players can do. He wants to get the ball to Serge Gnabry, but again, an understanding of the body weight of the players around him. It's about having a good touch, and generally you don't want the ball under your feet unless you know what you're going to do with that second touch. That ability, the fluency to be able to take a touch and then play the pass is absolutely ridiculous, and this is disgusting. This is part one of disgusting. First of all, it's just going to pop that through your legs. Don't worry about that. That's ridiculous, by the way. Gets the ball to Serge Gnabry. The defender's done really, really well to get back and get a fantastic tackle in here. But again, if we move it on, we then have an understanding of sort of, the view that you have. And in this moment, again, the goalkeeper has fallen over. And I just feel like Olise is one of those players who's just taking it in. And so in that moment, a lot of people might just snap at it, or you might try and take a touch to give yourself a chance because you know that at least there is space right here. But Olise has definitely seen that the goalkeeper, his weight distribution, again, is down to his left-hand side. And so he knows where he can put the ball. He also knows he doesn't need to smash it. And this is utter filth. This is a joke. He just taps it into that corner with such ease. It is so effortless. It takes forever to even get to the net. You do not see that finish. He is so chilled. He's so chilled. It's frightening. When we're talking world class, we're talking about output, but we're also talking about maybe some relationships that allow you to get to that level. And one thing that he's not is a luxury player. He does put the work in, and I think he wants those numbers as well. But he's also got players that are going to see him. That's a big, big difference now. To have someone like Musiala in the team is absolutely huge. And here he is, right here, really, really deep. And as the ball breaks to Bayern Munich, his thirst for goals, I think, is going to be important in terms of getting the numbers that allow you to sort of win those debates when we're talking about players being good. Because we've seen with the eye test the quality that he has. Because his goal for Bayern Munich against Dynamo Zagreb is just, I think it's a really good example of the basics, right? Because here he is now making a bit of a charge. And as we work it along, he continues that run. And Musiala believes that he's going to make it to him there. Harry Kane in that deep lying forward role is going to allow for players to run beyond him, and he's going to find them, and Musiala does exactly that. And in the end of it all, there's actually just a little pass from Musiala. But if Olise doesn't make this run the whole way there, that just doesn't happen. So there's the tap-ins, but then there's that outrageous quality that he can have as well. And Kompany's got him working hard and scoring goals and assists. And that just shows to me the thirst for Olise in terms of him wanting to be the best that he can be. And he's now at a place with a platform and players that are going to allow him to really be seen. So Olise is showing all the characteristics of a world-class player. He now has the stage for the rest of the world to see it. We told you about this a few months ago before he went to Bayern Munich. If you want to see that video, click here.